So it is day two in Provo. Well, technically I'm in Orem, but Provo trip. Um, I meant to record yesterday, but I was exhausted and I was busy. Um, I got into the at Provo Airport. I got into the Salt Lake Airport at 10 in the morning. I had left BWI in Baltimore at 7:30 in the morning. Um, and So, I mean, it was nice landing. It was very beautiful flying into Salt Lake. If you ever get a chance to fly into Salt Lake, I recommend it because it is beautiful going into landing. However, I was exhausted because I'd been up since 2:15 Baltimore, well, 2:15 Eastern time. Um, and got in and I tried to travel, but I forgot that I am absolute garbage at public transportation. And so I was trying to find a way to leave the airport and I was like looking for the bus. The bus wasn't coming. So I'm like, okay, I gotta take the train. I've never taken a train. This is gonna be fun. So I take the train. First train ride goes perfectly. Get on the train, pay my train fare, got a day pass, all of that. Went nice. And then it was time to get on the second train. So I get to the stop, and what I didn't realize about trains is that they run different routes back to back. So I got on the train that I thought was headed to Provo like I needed. I did not get on the Provo train. I got on the train to Ogden. So I was going north, when I meant to go south. And so I made it all the way to Farmington, Utah, and then realized my mistake and had to get off and get on the Provo train like 20 minutes later. Um, So then I finally got on the Provo train and got to my rental. I kid you not. I had to walk from the train to the rental, and take a bus. But I kid you not, I left the airport at like just before noon, and I did not get to my rental until almost four. It took me 4 hours to get from Salt Lake to Orem. Um, it was only supposed to take me like two, and I managed to make it a 4 hour trip. So, needless to say, I was exhausted. I have a suitcase that is 35 pounds, and I have a backpack that's like 25. So, you do the math, and it's not fun. Um, I was not prepared for the weather either. It was cold and then it was not cold. It was cold and then I put on a hoodie and I was burning up. But it's very sunny here, so if you like the sun, come to Salt Lake City. But it's been a nice trip so far. Today I went out to BYU, in Provo. So I left Orem, went to Provo on bus, and I went to the art museum, which was incredible. If you ever are on BYU campus or you are in the area, go to the art museum. I highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed. There's like this 15-foot tall painting of Jesus, the waters of Bethesda. It's incredible. They have so much oil paintings and sculptures, and they have a mix of like modern art and really historic art. And it's just incredible. And the food is amazing in their cafe. I got the mac and cheese, and what I didn't know is that the mac and cheese comes with a water. I thought it didn't come with a drink, and so I got a Diet Coke as well. And I had two drinks with one meal. My bladder was screaming by the time I got back to the guest house. Um, and the mac and cheese was amazing. It was like a huge portion. Like I couldn't even finish it. I had to take leftovers. Um, and it it was delicious. I have no words for a 750 mac and cheese that came with a water bottle. I have no words. It was delicious. It was incredible. Um, Apparently university food is good. I had the expectation that it would be like high school food and be disgusting. I was pleasantly surprised. Um, but tonight, I think I'm gonna go to the BYU Creamery. I had training I had to do for FSY, um, which is the reason I'm out here. And I start training tomorrow. So I had online training I had to do. Um, and then I'm probably going to take a nap now. because I'm exhausted from all this walking. I am from a small town. We don't walk anywhere. We drive everywhere. I'm not prepared for this. Um, so I'm gonna take a nap and then go to the creamery later. That's the plan. Okay, so okay, so it is the day that training starts. And last night I went to the BYU Creamery, and let me tell you, life changed forever. It was so delicious. It was so good. It was so creamy. I was at a loss for words. It was so good. Um, it is currently 6:30 in the morning. I woke up early this morning, took a shower, and now I just wait. I'm supposed to check in at training at noon, which is crazy because it's like really real, like this is actually happening. And last night I had a hard time falling asleep because it was like my brain was finally catching up to my body. Like I've been here for this is my third day, and I was, going about my day, and I was going out to eat, and I went to the museum, and I went to the creamery, but it didn't really sink in that I was really here and that this was really going on. And now it's just really real that this is actually happening, that I'm working for FSY, that I'm going to be away from home for 10 weeks, that my life has changed forever and it's going to continue to change. And it's kind of scary, but it's also really amazing. And I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what this summer brings. And glad I get to take y'all along for the ride. Okay. It is officially 1 week since I got to Utah. Um, I finished up training last night for FSY, and it was an incredible experience. I mean, there were a lot of highs and lows. There was a lot of things that challenged me, and a lot of things that I learned and grew from. Um, I was not prepared for how much walking I was going to be doing. I was walking between like 5 and 7 miles a day for the entire like 4 days I was there, which is very different from back home, where I walk a little bit indoors, when I'm doing my home health aid work, but I'm not outdoors walking up and down hills and on concrete sidewalks, and just my feet were torn up. Like I have some insane blisters right now. My Achilles tendons to the back of my ankles hurt so bad. And like I'm just trying to get my feet to adjust, and I think it's like just one of those things that I have to kind of wait out. Like when I first got here, it was really hard to breathe because the air is a lot thinner, and I have anemia, so it's already kind of hard for me to oxygenate blood. Um, but yeah, it's just like random little things that I didn't think I was gonna have to adjust to that are actually like proving to be very difficult. Um, but training was amazing. I had an incredible group. We had such a good time bonding and talking and eating meals together, and um, like it just was so fun. And while it was stressful at times, and at times I felt like I wasn't good enough to be there, and that I was making a mistake for being there, and that I wasn't ready to do this, I'm glad I have chosen to come out here, and I'm glad I have chosen to do this difficult thing because I know that it matters, and I know that it's important, and I know that it is the right choice for me. As hard as that choice may be, as hard as, being out here, being away from home, doing all this work is, I know that this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, as you can tell, I am not in a college dorm. right now. I was initially told that I was going to be doing a week of counselor training um, at BYU prior to going out to San Diego and being a health coordinator. That at the last minute was changed. My contract was changed, and I was set to be a health coordinator in the Provo session at BYU next week. And it's a little unfortunate because I had initially planned on staying in BYU dorms for counselor training for the rest of the half week before the BYU session for camp was supposed to start. But because they changed my contract at the last minute, I am not working as a counselor, so I couldn't stay for counselor training. So I had to find somewhere to stay. And I'm not very good at asking for help. It's just one of those things that kind of gives me a lot of anxiety and I feel very guilty doing. And so I tried very hard to like ask around and ask to see if there were people, but it just wasn't lining up and time was running out. And so I decided to just book a place to stay for the 5 nights. And I had a very good experience with a Motel 6 in Mesa, Arizona last year. In October, I went out for a friend's wedding and I stayed in a Motel 6 and it was super clean. The staff were incredibly nice. It was in a pretty safe area. You know, there weren't any sketchy people around. It was an easily walkable area. It was right near a community college, or maybe it's not a community college. It was a state college, and um, places to eat, and it was very walkable. There was good public transportation nearby. So I booked another Motel 6 thinking, oh, I'll have a similar or, the same experience. It'll be good. It is not good here. It is like I got here at 8:45 last night. It's currently Wednesday, the 25th of May, and I was scared out of my mind. I was literally texting Trevor most of the night, my friend Trevor. I was texting him most of the night, like, hey, like, this is really sketchy. Like, there's a lot of, like, sketchy people around, and it's, like, definitely not as well maintained as the last Motel 6 I stayed at. And, this is the kind of motel that make people say, why would you stay at a motel? And, unfortunately, I'm stuck here for 5 nights. Um, but I was going to try to do per diem work. I didn't do any today because I woke up and my feet were killing me. And like that's another one of the things like I was saying that is taking time to adjust to. Like because I can't be on my feet working as a CNA for 8 hours if like it's excruciating to walk. Like when I try to walk, it's easily like a 6.5, 7, and I can't walk very fast and it's just rough. And, I really need to pick up per diem work to cover the cost of lodging for this time that I'm going to be waiting to start FSY training or FSY camp. And so I'm like really hoping that when I wake up tomorrow that my feet are not killing me and the pain is manageable and that I'm able to walk fairly well um, so that I can pick up per diem work at a local nursing home. Yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at right now. I went out and I got groceries today. I went to the laundromat and did some laundry because I had run out of clothes pretty much because I've been here for a week and hadn't run any laundry. Um, and like last night, I was definitely very self-conscious and like beating myself up because I love traveling. It's something I'm very passionate about, and solo travel is something that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. I love to travel, and right now, as a single person, solo travel is kind of like my only option. I mean, I could travel with friends, it's just that my friends don't really travel a whole lot. um, and so, I'm stuck traveling by myself, but what comes with that is you sometimes make mistakes and you don't have that second opinion of someone like kind of knowing more than you do, and you also don't have someone to split costs with. And so like that's kind of the two factors that led to me being at this really sketchy motel is that I didn't really realize that it was not a good place to stay. The area was not good, and I also had to find somewhere pretty cheap because and pick up per diem work because I did not have a whole lot saved up. I had some saved up for traveling and stuff like that, but prior to about a week ago, I was under the impression I was going to be working at FS. I was going to be at FSY training for this 5 days, and so I didn't really have time to like save up a whole bunch to cover it. Um, so it's like a little. I just felt a little dumb I that things weren't really working out the way I wanted them to, or that I had thought they would, and that I picked a bad place to stay. That I couldn't find someone to stay with. That I felt like I was just making mistakes that were dumb and that were avoidable. And I have good friends who were kind of encouraging me and trying to lift me up and give me pep talks, like this is only the second time I've traveled independently. I traveled a lot when I was in school, with different clubs and things I was in. Traveled with my family a bit, but this is really only the second time that I have traveled somewhere independently, and it's like an area I've never been to. I don't really know where are good places and where are bad places, and I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, travel hacking is something I want to do. I want to travel using credit card points and credit card rewards. And, this is kind of just that, like, growing pains time of trying to figure out how to do it well and kind of trying to get up off the ground with it. So I just have to be patient with myself, which is always hard for me. Um, but yeah, I guess that's the end of this week. That's what's going on. Um, and I look forward to this following week. And I will continue to vlog it and update y'all. And that's a wrap. Peace.